Well, hello and welcome everybody. We're back for another week of the SFR GT Challenge. I've been away for 2 weeks. I've been a little bit busy. You might have seen I got myself a new place I've got to set up. So that's going on. Painted it all yesterday, but tonight the focus is going to be on Division number 1. The boys are all back ready to race, and I've got one of them with me. Rocky from Rockefeller Racing is the big man there. How you going tonight, buddy?
Hey, how you doing, Josh? Welcome back, bud. Welcome back.
No, thank you. It's good to be back. It's good to finally, get back behind the racing again. So, this race, you were telling me you got a few issues with the Aston Martin around here. Is that right?
Yeah, the Aston loves the cool straights. It's a bit of a heavy car, so we have lots of twists and turns over here at Catalunya. So it could be tough on tires. So strategy is going to play a big part, and we're just going to try and stick to our game plan here. Tell you the truth, we might be on different game plans between me and my teammate. So we shall see how it plays out, but hoping to keep her on track.
Yeah, well, that's obviously always the plan. The strategy, is that going to play a huge part in tonight's racing, you think?
I think it will. I think it's going to come down to whether people decide to do a 2-stop or a 3-stop. That's going to be the big difference, and yeah, I think that's going to be a big deal. Obviously, some cars are better than others on the tires, and around here it's a great track. It's one of my favorites, and yeah, I think it's going to play a big part tonight.
So where'd you qualify? Unfortunately, I didn't get to check that out, but yeah, where'd you end up qualifying?
I think I was in 10th for a little while, but I think I'm holding 12th at the moment. We're split by a few hairs, so that also plays a part in our strategy here where we qualified, so have to make some last minute changes here.
Now, is there any strategy you and Kyle can do together to help each other? Is that going to be a viable option, or is it just going to be winning it from the start?
Well, I think we're on the same page when it comes to if we are on track in a similar spot together, we'll obviously try and work together. We had that happen at Red Bull Ring. We seemingly came together a lot last round, and that paid off for us, and our strategy was pretty much on point, and I think it saved us. Tonight might be a little bit of a different story, though, because we got a lot of fast guys in the league, as you know. And again, I really think tonight's going to come down to a 2 or 3 stop strategy, depending on what people do. So if we can work together, we'll definitely try and work together for sure. Absolutely.
So who's your biggest rival after 7 rounds? Who's the one you need to look out for?
I need to try and keep up with J-Mag. I'm hanging in 10th right now, and J-Mag is slightly ahead of me. So although he's a friend and I love him, yeah, he's my biggest rival at the moment because I'm right underneath him in the points.
Right.
And STR and us, Rockefeller, are battling in the team points, but individually, yeah, J-Mag.
J-Mag. So, well, we'll keep an eye on that one tonight. But, yeah, good luck out there in the Astons. Is there going to, do you think, before I let you go, Aston for season, what are we coming up to, season 2? Do you reckon you'll be changing cars for Rockefeller next season? Is that a possibility?
Yeah, it's definitely a high possibility. Don't get me wrong, I love the Aston, and they BOP'd it right at the last second before the season started. If you remember the Le Mans race we had, it was really good there, and I'm expecting a good result there. The Aston loves straights. But yeah, season 2 will be definite team chatter and team talk about car change for sure. We love to switch it up. Before I let you go, though, I'd just like to thank everybody. I'd like to thank you, the founding members of SFR, and all the drivers as well. It's really been a great season so far, and looking forward to season 2 and finishing season 1 on a strong note for Rockefeller and everybody.
No, thank you very much. Thanks for getting these together each week, Rocky. I know you put a lot of work in yourself, but good luck out there tonight. You're going to need it, I think, and yeah, see if you can bring home some medals.
True. I will need it. Cheers, mate. I appreciate it.
No worries. That was Rocky Rocco from Rockefeller Racing. You can go check him out on Facebook at Rockefeller Racing and see all the good things they do over there. But we're just moments away from the race. I think I just need to let the race controller know that we are good to go. And yeah, let's do it. Let's get the race underway. But welcome back, everyone. I know it's been a little while since I've been here last. Sorry if there was much lag there. I forgot to cross-post it. Sorry about that, everyone else. I was meant to cross-post it. It's been 2 weeks. I've totally forgotten to do things. Josh, what's going on? Vic's in the house as well. Obviously, Rockefeller boys. Or Vic is definitely. Can't wait to see what happens here. Let's see who's on top. I would say Neen Tisto's on top, being one of the GT World finalists. He is. Gumball's there. Marzen's back in third. He's got a teammate Cooper in fourth. J-Mag, who was Rocky's rival, up there just in front of him. Anyway, we're waiting for the lights. 33 laps are about to begin here in Spain. You can see them top of your screen, and it's a green light. Out we go. And it's racing here at Barcelona now. It's a sprint race up to the first turn. And it looks like Gumball has beaten Def Sun as he got around the outside. Marzen might have a good run on him, but the AMGs are definitely dominating off the start of this one. Neen Tisto and Exotica side by side up into the first few turns, but everything looks pretty clean. Don't think we had too many incidences there, so everyone should be pretty happy with how that's happened. And there's Urki around the outside. He's in the BMW there. Looks like some new liveries have been made in my absence, so that's going to be fun to check them out with you guys tonight. But Gumball, look at the lead. He's managed to pull away, already a second. And Marzen is doing a similar thing. So it looks like the AMGs have the power in the early stages. Def Sun back down in third. He's from Turismo Racing. He's also a GT World finalist, so is Marzen. But Marzen had some World Finals experience in the AMG himself, so he knows what's involved in a high-octane, high-pressure race situation. But Gumball absolutely blitzing the field up here into the first lap. Def Sun and Marzen trading spots, and Def Sun will get that move done up into the last section here. The last sector of the track. It's the slowest sector of this one. And Marzen now has to defend J-Mag. So J-Mag is now pushing his way through. And Bill's not too far behind. So the Apex boys right now are squeezing J-Mag. Corvette and AMG working together to beat another AMG. But they get through nicely. But as we come to the end of the first lap, it's the man in the white and red AMG for Rockefeller. Gumball getting through. Def Sun takes the second spot. Marzen third, and we can see some moving and shaking happening down the back. Cooper moving it out wide. He's got Q on his back end now up into the first turn, but Cooper using the lightness of that Toyota to brake a lot later than what Q could, and he gets him done. Some scratching happening on the front panel there, and we've got a bit of a tussle here. There's Catch. He's been caught up in it now. He's up into 11th. He's just behind Urki, who's managed to find himself up inside the top 10. Becqua all the way down there in 12th. That's not, we don't usually see that very often, but they're going to be too wide into the right-hander, and Catch is going the long way around with Neen Tisto. Wow, Neen Tisto's down there as well. So some big names have dropped very early on, but they could be going for the long game here. And that looks like the case is happening right now. Urki is putting one on Exotica in front. The BMW, don't mind those colours at all. They look really nice. And he's flashing the lights. He's letting Exotica know he's there. He's trying to upset the man in front for STR. Very wide. Some of the drivers have gone there. I don't know if we've lost anyone. And Urki now should have the run. And inside line, that's easy done for Urki. And that's ninth spot for him. Becqua and Catch trading paint. Their next target, obviously, Exotica. And Catch is really struggling here early on. He's gone wide. out there before he finishes the second lap. It's got to be, again, wide. So some setup issues for Catch early on. He just needs to get into the rhythm of the thing. You got to attack the corners there too. So I wonder if he's got some understeer issues early on. I wonder if he can maybe get around that with some brake balance changes. And Gnarly, his teammate, he's in the orange AMG. Could also get a move on him before the end of this one. But it's Gumball in the lead by 1.9. And he looks nice and comfortable with everything that's happening right now. Defson finds himself up in second, as he did at the end of the first lap. But not without some pressure from those behind. It looks like J-Mag's gotten in front of Marzan here. So Marzan now down into fourth, and J-Mag, the rival of Rocky, is on an absolute sprint of a race right now. Some good lap times coming in from this guy. Let's see if we can't see the situation where it might have happened. He was already ahead before we got to the corners here. You can see J-Mag in total control. I've totally forgotten how to use the replay controls. But welcome to SFR GT Challenge, guys. Hopefully you guys can have a good one. Enjoy this one race. Marzan getting out wide. Oh, lots of oversteer for Marzan here. So we've got oversteer for some, understeer for others. HQ, welcome to the stream, my friend. And Nicholas Schaefer watching on as well from YouTube. Thanks for popping in, dudes. Monfort says, time to watch some great racing. You know what? I think we even... Is Game of Thrones on now, or is it on in an hour? I think it's on in an hour where I live in Australia, so we might be done just in time to watch it live, if that's the case. Marzan, though, has got his team... Look at this. We've got 3 Apex boys coming up into turn 1. The Corvette's going to have the inside. Marzan's going to have to probably drop off here, and he does. And that's given Bill the opportunity he wants. Oh, Marzan with an absolute rocket around the outside. Where did that come from? Marzan had all the speed. Cooper's stuck with him too. So Cooper's gotten 2 spots out of that. And Bill lost out. We thought he totally won. Let's see what happened. Let's keep an eye on Marzan here. Watch Bill get the inside line. Braking late up. Marzan just kept the speed a lot higher through there. And there was absolutely no reply from anyone, and Cooper just followed his teammate through. He said, thank you very much. So, back up into 4th. So Marzan doing what he can. This is Manya Q. In his Rainbow Stronger Together Racing Hyundai. Sorry, that's not a Hyundai, is it? He used to drive the Hyundai. No, it is the Hyundai. Look at that. Hasn't changed. It's good to see. Doogie in the Viper. It's not very often you see a Hyundai in front of a Viper, but these are GT3 cars, so they're a little bit more powerful than your average road car. It's good to see Hyundai are able to put an entry in that's capable of fighting with the best. And there is a lot of traffic now coming up into 4th spot. You can see it starting to build. And it's Marzan who leads this length of cars, this train. But everyone right now is starting to catch up. Marzan, though, has Cooper behind. And Cooper's going to want to go for a move here. He puts the Toyota on the inside line, but once again, Q in the background doing the same thing. Does Q get it done? He's defended the spot beautifully. And he'll remain in 7th. And I would imagine... No, Cooper's gotten around. Cooper managed to make that work. And Marzan, again, is going to have to recover from the back foot and get some more overtakes in what is becoming a really interesting race here for the midfield. Now let's watch what Cooper's done in the replay. He managed to hold it. So he had the inside line, and he's actually held it from Marzan there. Marzan wasn't able to keep the speed that he had in the previous attempt. So Cooper had learnt from that, watched and learnt. And this is where we are. This is on board with Cooper. He's currently 4th position. And you can see 3rd is 2.9 seconds ahead. So that's what 3 seconds looks like on track. This is the train of cars starting to build right up behind. You can see it's starting to get quite packed, but Cooper's now starting to pull away here. So I would imagine Marzan and possibly Bill are working on the harder compound here. And remember, they need to go through 2 compounds, the soft and the medium, and they need to run them for a lap, at least a lap each. So different strategies and different implementations of the tyres. Compounds here are going to completely change the pace for these guys at some points during the race, and it looks like it's affecting Marzan at the moment, but will he be able to recover at the back end of it? Hopefully. Now the gap at the front has dropped. You can see our leader Gumball CGT has the GT World Champion finalist on his tail, right up the clackers in the exhaust fumes. Def Sun in the Lexus. It's been dominant all year. And it looks like he's just taking it nice and slowly at the moment. He let Gumball clear the field early on, but now lap 6 in, he's closed that gap. And he doesn't want Gumball getting any further away. He's going to use the slipstream to his effect, I'd imagine. He doesn't need to save fuel, but if he can save on some tyre wear here, he might be able to get a few extra laps in and get off rotation. Gumball inside defense. Wasn't that very aggressive, but Def Sun's just holding it. You can see a little bit of a wiggle from the Def Sun there, so he's got to be careful he doesn't rip through the tyres, but he could be at the end of the tyre life. But one thing I've learnt working in the SFR GT Challenge now for so long is the drivers will always surprise you, and they will somehow make things last longer than you thought possible. Jono's loving the liveries. There are some good ones tonight. Some of these guys, they spend some good amount of time on them. And I know a few of the guys, there could even be just the 1 or 2 guys that make them all. But Def Sun can't get the move done. Let's go back and check. That's J-Mag. He's still 4th. There's Cooper. The train, Marzan's starting to pull away. And this is now where the train, so might be Bill that's holding everyone up. But Bill will be that buffer between his teammates and the rest of the field. And he can hopefully slow down that midfield pack somewhat. There's 10th. I think there's Gnarly up into 11th. So he's gotten himself around Neen Tisto at the moment. And I can see Green Machine fighting hard with Exotica. And that's exactly what happened. Catches in unlucky 13th. But he is in front of the Stronger Together racing car. Here we go down the straight. This is where the move was on. Nothing behind him. In front, though, later on the brakes. Almost a bit of a rubbing there between the two, but rubbing's racing, they say. And Catch, with the better speed, he's managed to make that one work for him. Now, hopefully my cold isn't affecting what you guys hear today a little bit. I feel like I've got a sore throat, and I swear I've got a cold coming on. So hopefully my voice doesn't sound too weird. But here we go. Gumball is now having to very aggressively find where he wants to put his AMG Mercedes. The race is on. Look at that. He's gone well to the inside very early on. Def Sun, though, follows because he knows he's got the slipstream. And look at the effect it has. Def Sun has closed that gap in a matter of moments into the braking zone. You can see the front of the car dip. Gumball comes across into the apex. Def Sun follows. At the moment, no change of positions. But the race for the lead is definitely on. J-Mag in. Here comes the rest of the field. Bill chucks the Corvette in. Erky is now up into 8th. So Erky's pushed himself up a few more spots in the last couple of laps, which is good to see. Neen Tisto chucks it in. I thought he was going too quick there. We just got a little bit of delay. And Catch and Exotica will continue on. But the front is these two, the American and the Canadian, facing off. And welcome everybody once again to the SFR GT Challenge. If you're new here, my name's Josh, and I'm from Demo and Garage doing the commentary for you today. Hopefully you're enjoying it. Hopefully you're enjoying the race. We have been away for 2 weeks, so sorry about that, but we'll hopefully be back into the normal thing of things very soon, as the place I'm moving into is under some... It's getting built, basically. Just waiting for the paint to dry today. And hopefully this week we'll start moving in. We need to get an internet connection out there first, so I'll make sure I get that done this week. But Gumball still leads after 8 laps. And Gumball has yet to go into the pits. I don't think we've seen anyone enter. Turismo Def Sun will follow. You can see J-Mag's up into third. He's had a good run right now. Cooper has, once he got away from his teammate Marzan, he's managed to hold fourth for a lot of it. Marzan's there. This is the train that Bill is making. And Munyaku's at the back end of it. Oh, a few cars getting wiggly. That Urki did really well to hold on to that one. This is what it looks like on board. This is what Munya's watching. Everyone in front. You can see Doogi's got the inside. He's going to go for a run on Urki as well, Mike Q. Looks like Doogie made that one stick beautifully. Replay of that move. Doogie on the inside. Bill trying to go around the outside into one. And look at that. Under brakes. It's just a beautiful swap over there of position, and Doogie takes it away. Again, 2 wide. The guys are racing for it. Q's managed to push himself up as well. And Urki's all the way back down to 9th now, so we'll keep an eye on this field. Lots of battles here. This is for 6th spot. And almost every one of these cars has occupied each of those 4 positions that are on your screen currently, as they cut and change everything going on. Urki down into 9th. Bill looks to get away in that Corvette. Urki's looking for a way around. He can't find one. Doogie holds it. You can see Bill in front. We've lost somebody there. Who was it we lost? I think that was the car that unfortunately left the room. Def Sun's in the pits. So he's the first one to go. He was on the softs. He started on the softs, interestingly. Let's see what he does. Let's see what the SFR GT Challenge leader does as he drops through the field. His team is ready. Q is also in. Follows Def Sun in. And it will be softs again. So Def Sun's yet to take the softs. Let's get a field update. After that, Marzan is promoted up into the 3rd spot. Bill and Doogie, 4th and 5th. And Def Sun has just come out in front of Urki here. So Def Sun has some traffic to contend with. And unfortunately, Def Sun might be slowed down here. Let's see what happens. Oh, I almost look like torque steering there, as they call it. On board with Def Sun from Turismo Racing. Oh, around the outside, Bill! Look at that, Bill made a huge error on the exit. And he's ended up way back down the field. There's Bill, he's down in the 8th spot. We were on board with Def Sun as it happened. He got onto the tarmac and across he goes. And he spun around. He did cause a yellow flag, but he's rejoined relatively quickly. And he was able to mitigate a lot of the positions he lost there. But Bill, our first casualty of the evening, it's taken 10 laps, ladies and gentlemen. And now this is one of the more interesting races. Did Gumball get a good enough lap in to come out ahead of Def Sun? Fastest lap done by Def Sun. Trying to find him, actually. Here comes Gumball. Where's he going to come out into the steam of things? There goes Def Sun. And he will now take the race lead, effectively. There he is. He's managed to get the undercut to work. And Gumball wasn't able to effectively get in the lap he needed. I guess without having Def Sun there pushing him through, as they were so close before. Gumball maybe let off a little bit and went in a little bit too easy that lap. He needed to push hard, and that lead, he now has effectively lost that once all the pit positions and all the strategies are taken into account. But it's Cooper who leads this one from Marzan. He's up in a second, running long, so medium tyres definitely. But you can see Def Sun on the quicker ones. He's starting to catch him now. Let's see if he can get a move in for the third position. Marzan's not going to be an easy guy to overtake, though. They've raced together a lot, though, so they know each other's weaknesses and strengths. Let's see if they can't exploit them here. Live on air in the SFR GT Challenge Division 1 race here at Catalunya. Andrew's out. Yeah, we saw you disconnect there, man. It's you were doing really well too, so it's a shame. Here we go. Def Sun, though, he's going to get the slipstream. Almost pushes Marzan out wide. They're going to be side by side as they come across the start-finish up to the first turn. And you can see Gumball's not too far away himself. Actually looks a lot longer when you go on board. We're on board with Def Sun, and he's made that stick on Marzan there quite easily. Here it was, under brakings. Def Sun made it quite an easy move done. He's got the grippier tyres. That was going to happen every day of the week. A lot of the field just pitted that lap, and now we have a new race leader on lap number 12. Doogie. He's racing with Q and Catch. So Catch is pushed up as well. We would expect Catch to be on the mediums. There he is. Tyres screaming in agony as they're looking for grip. Q is going to have the inside for the right-hander, and that's going to be on the inside done. Will they do the swap over again? Not quite. Fantastic racing here, though, all up and down the field. It's hard to keep an eye on it all. There's just so much happening. And Catch right now is being bullied from the Viper behind. Doogie wants him out of the way. Doogie is quicker, I would assume. And Catch has just been overtaken by the Viper. Erky's the next one. He's under a barrage of overtake assaults here. Erky swinging left, swinging right. He can't find it. Wants to put the heavy BMW on the inside. Apex comes up, and they've just got around. Catch had to do some avoiding action there, and Marzan's in. So our prediction was correct. He was on the harder compound tyre there. So Marzan, he's done with the medium. He can run softs now to the end of the race, if that's the quickest way to the end. Now, we did say a 3-stop or a 2-stop was the strategy that might be used. As we're talking to Rocky early on. At the moment, that's the first one for Marzan. So he's got either 1 or 2 to go. Let's see how far he goes. It depends on how long you make those mediums last. Doogie and Munya Q, though, they were rubbing up through the first 2 turns. But that Viper looks like it had the grip around there, and it's managed to pull away a tidy little lead for 6th. It's not the lead of the race, but he's in front of Munyaku for now. Erky's obviously gone around Rockefeller Racing's Catch, and he's up into 8th. Bill, he had the first and only accident we've seen at the moment, and he's down 9th. Catch and Gnarly now, the 2 teammates are together. Are they going to help each other along here? Gnarly, professional looking move, letting the quicker guy through. Catch now down into 11th. Becquois up into 12th. And we've got a floating car driven by Exotica. I love this glitch. It's been in since day one. I'm glad they haven't gotten rid of it. Good old Gran Turismo and its floating cars. Mean Tisto's in. He was on the softs early on. Catch is also entering the pit lane. His team are ready. Nientisto's out the way, onto the softs. Catch. Team waiting. Deaf Sun now leads this race. Gumball is only 1.5 seconds behind. So, is he able to catch up again to that Lexus? We've seen how strong the AMGs were here at the start, but what's their race pace like? That's the question. And it's Cooper now. He's got company. And it's Marzan, his teammate, behind him. Andrew is cheering for Gumball. Well, if we could get the message to him live, I would do that. But it looks like he's doing pretty good. Well, thanks for joining tonight, guys. We are just about to hit the halfway mark here in this Division 1 race. So thanks for joining us. Sorry I didn't cross-post it the way I was meant to. But I was a little bit rushed this morning with things. Here we go, 3rd and 4th. Can hardly see Marzan. He was tucked so close in behind the Toyota there. And around Marzan goes for 3rd. And Cooper and Marzan just working together nicely. Here we go. Bill is on the redemption run. He's just gotten around Erky there into the first turn. Looks like it was a move. He was orchestrated from all the way back at the exit of the last turn. Down the front straight. Erky just gave him the racing room required. This is on board with Bill in the Corvette. Looks like he got a lot more speed off the exit there, but he's pushing it hard. You can hear those tyres screeching, searching for grip. Halfway through the race. Q. Eyes forward. But he's going to know that that Apex Motorsport driver is right on his tail. Here we go. So close at the moment, Bill. Couldn't get any closer to the back end of Q's Hyundai. But he's going to have the slipstream down now the front straight. That's going to be beneficial to him and even Erky. Watch out for Erky. Could be the dark horse in all of this. Just going to have to keep an eye on it. Bill gets the better run. Munya went a little bit wide. Going to get the cars turned in aggressively here, and he's done so. Munya, Q, and Bill. Now, here we go. Bill would be the favourite in this drag race. As we come around the end, lap 15, start lap 16. And Bill is super tight to the back end of the Hyundai. And Q has not gone defensive. He's probably given up already on that position. Into the braking zone, and Bill will make that stick. Erky wasn't able to do it there, but he's not too far off if he just keeps calm, cool, calm, collected, and patient for this lap. He'll probably get it done next lap. No dramas at all. But these three cars are super equally matched in pace. Just how look how similar their lines are, their lap times are, and everything. Bill, I think, is on a bit of a run, though, so we might be seeing him come in for a pit stop soon. We'll have to keep an eye on Bill. But that looks like that corner. He's gotten over the fear of crashing there as he goes through that exit quite aggressively this time. Didn't crush it that time, thankfully. Now, 9th is Gnarly, and you can see he's doing really well in 9th. He's up into the top 10. Nientisto's down there, just creeping in. And Catch is not having a good one. Down in 13th. And that's where he'll be for a lot of it. But he'll keep fighting. He'll never give up. And now look at this. Look at the battle that's happened at the front. That's been ongoing this entire race, rather. It is Deaf Sun and Gumball Gumball has obviously been putting in the laps. He's obviously been getting quicker through the season, because I didn't know it was possible to stay up and pace the same as Def Sun at all. Def Sun's usually out in front by somewhere between 10 to 18, 19 seconds. Not the case today. And Gumball's really making him work for that first position. In fact, I think Gumball could be on for a win himself. He just needs to keep the pressure on and mistake free. That's the thing we haven't seen Def Sun do a lot of, is any mistakes, if at all. Not the races I've been broadcasting and commentating. I've not seen Def Sun make one mistake. But now that there's cars there, the pressure's on. Could be a possibility. So we're just going to have to keep an eye on this one as well. Lots of things developing here in the SFR GT Challenge. And a lot of it very unpredictable. So you're going to have to hang around to watch. Don't forget, all live and free as always here on Demo 1. And I usually do cross-post it on Rockefeller Racing's page, the SFR GT Challenge page, or on YouTube, Twitch, all the good stuff. So you can catch it anywhere, really. Here we go, the move I was talking about. Gumball's going to make it work. Inside line into the first turn. The brake lights light up. Gumball still has two above his head. They're rubbing side by side. And the exit speed's going to be all important here, and I think Gumball's got that to work. Beautiful. Very wide through here, though, using all the grip he's got in the tyres. The rubber holding up, and Gumball's made that one stick. Great stuff. Just listen to those tyres grip. But that's where he made it stick for him. Now this is Gumball. Looks like he's starting to push away a little bit from Def Sun. That's what we like to see. Glad everyone's enjoying today's race, though. Lap 18 we're about to enter, and we should expect to see the next round of pit stops shortly. Now the question is that's on everyone's lips is when. Here we go. Def Sun's gone first. He needs to use the medium compound. Is this where he's going to use it? Our leader now has a clean lap ahead of him. He needs to put in a quick lap. Def Sun still waiting to enter his pit box. Does the third place Marzen do it? He doesn't. Here we go. This is the second stop for Def Sun, and it's going to be soft tyres again. So he'll do the medium run at the end. And he even got out in front of Marzen there, interestingly. Marzen, look at this. They're going to be neck and neck. Marzen could put the pressure on instantly. Marzen's already run the medium tyre too, so Marzen now has an opportunity to get in front of Def Sun. He just needs to keep up with the pace. They are out of rotation slightly, but you can see all the time Marzen's made now after getting back onto the quicker compound. But Def Sun just seems to be a little bit too quick straight out of the box. He's already managed to pull away almost a second in about 3 or 4 corners. So Marzen on dying rubber. He needs to get into the pits soon, but I think he should have the pace somewhere to catch up, even put a move on Def Sun if his strategy can work out. Another one we're going to have to keep a good eye on as well. Now, Gumball, he knows this is a pivotal lap. He knows he needs to do a quick one. Has he done enough? He didn't last time. Is he going in though? He's not. No, he is. He's in. Here we go. This is the race. This is the race for the lead. Gumball's in. Turismo Def Sun went in last lap. He got the undercut to work last time. Is it going to work this time? Was it a good enough lap? Here we go. Def Sun's rounding the last corner now. There he is. Marzin's in tow. Gumball. The tyres are only just going on, and it was the soft tyres again for medium. It's medium for Gumball. So here we go. There's the leader. And there's Marzin coming. Not too far off again. Gumball is now on the medium tyre. So both Defsun and Gumball are on different strategies for the first time this race. Can Gumball stay with Defsun on the medium though? Or can he stay within striking distance? Very interesting call there from Gumball. But now our top three are looking like this. Turismo Defsun, Gumball CGT, and AMS Marzan. It is two AMG Mercedes taking on a Lexus here. Marzan has already done the medium. Remember that. Gumball is on the medium right now. Turismo Defsun seems to be taking the medium to the end. Oh, this is all very interesting. We've got three very different strategies at play. And I don't know who will win this one. I really don't know who's coming out on top. They are all so closely matched right now. There's not much in it. So there's four. And Marzan is on some used rubber himself. So will he go in this lap and take some softs and catch it up from there after pit again? He could be going for a two-stopper. I don't know. Smurf. Yeah, these rule changes for the mandatory compound man really change things up. I'm loving it myself, dude. Loving it. Alright, let's catch up with the rest of the field. Erky's all the way up into 5th, so Erky's put himself up in a great position to finish this one. Neen Tisto's up into 6th as well, so those guys are running a good long race. Munyaq, Bekwa, here we go. We got some battle here for the top 10 position. Bill way back down in 10th right now, but there's Doogie in the Dodge Viper. Teammate versus teammate. And Bill, I think, managed to make that work. Sorry, we had a bit of a finger fault then. Let's go back and show you that happened without any finger faults. This was the drag race up into 1. Inside line. Bill. He got it on the brakes, I think. Oh, so late. So committed to the first turn. They were both very late, but it was Bill who ultimately won out there. And that's the 9th spot. And that race continues and rages on as we speak. The two Rockefeller boys are down in 11th and 12th, unfortunately. They didn't expect to do too much today, but I think they wanted to do a little better than that. This is where the racing action is. So, you can see just how slow those medium tyres are now. Marzan's continued on for another few laps. That's the gap. That's what the gap looks like. That's 4.2 seconds. And that's only after 1 lap. But I don't know if Defsun's going to be able to make his soft tyres last for that long. Erky's actually coming in. So Erky's gotten rid of his mediums. And this is where some of the cars now are really going to start bunching back up. This is what strategy does. There's Bekwa coming through. Doogie as well. Erky's in. It's going to be very close. The team gets his new rubber on, new boots on. Is he going to be out dead last? No, he's out in the 10th. There's the field of cars. That's Gnarly coming. Erky, though. Oh, Gnarly's got the move. Well, he had the line. But you must remember, Erky now has the rubber to do it. Well, thanks as always for joining us as well, guys. Hopefully you're enjoying this one today. It's very, very unpredictable right now. I don't know who's going to win. Defsun at the moment leads, but he needs to put the medium tyres on, and he hasn't done that yet. Gumball's managed to pull away from Marzan slightly. Cooper's in as well, so Cooper had the mediums, and Cooper's looks to be getting rid of them himself. It's all fine and dandy. So Marzan came in too. So Marzan now has some very quick rubber to the end. Tisto, his teammate. So the Apex boys are really going to start bunching back up now. Q is in. Cooper out in the soft. Doogie going for a move on Beckwar here. Here we go. Inside. Beckwar going around the long way. It's not going to work. Does Doogie pull it up? He does, just in time. Turn one. It's been the favourite place to make the overtakes today. Just using that long run and that straight to get into the slipstream, build the speed up. And then if you're on some stickier compounds, you'll make the car pull up a lot quicker than your teammate can. And just make that move work for you. Doogie now in 7th, and he's pushing his way through. Bill's also had a good recovery. He's up into 6th. You can see his teammate Cooper there. So top 5 finish for Bill, very possible, as we've coming into 10 laps to go. Tisto, another Apex Motorsport driver, doing very well today. This is Marzan in 3rd. He does have a 26-second gap between him and Gumball, though. That is a little bit too much. He needs to bite into that gap before they pit again by 5 or 6 seconds, I think, if he needs to be coming out just behind them. But he's definitely off rotation, out of sequence with the rest of the guys. And it could be that he's going for a 2-stopper here. I just don't know if he's going to get those softs to last. Marzan, though, could come up with something miraculous here towards the end. Now, Gumball on the medium currently. Remember that. 6 seconds the gap. So Gumball can come in at any time, put on the rubber. But how long can he make those softs last? And when is the optimal time to do that? Gumball will have figured that out. But at the moment, it's a little bit of an unknown. You can see the gaps between the cars are quite significant at the moment. But that will change once our front runners enter the pit lane, because I don't think they can make it to the end. Defsun definitely needs excuse me. Defsun definitely needs to take the mediums as long as I didn't miss him do anything. But Gumball, those on them now. Sorry about my voice. Finding it very hard to talk for this long today. Now let's get an update. Let's see what Marzan does here. No, he continues on. His teammate, Tisto, into 4th. That's how it stands. Cooper's not too far behind, so these guys are going to start catching up each other now. So we'll have to watch this at the end. Oh, there goes Tisto. Tisto's in. Bill's coming around himself, and he'll continue on with the lap. 7th position, Doogie. He'll move up one. And there's Erky. Here we go, Tisto. New boots on the Toyota. Out he goes. Where's he going to rejoin? Gnarly's in the pits as well. Tisto's taking the medium here towards the end. Interesting run for Neen. Gnarly's also coming in himself. We're a minute off the leader. and medium towards the end there. So that's popular choice here towards the back end of the field. And the two Rockefeller boys are gonna meet each other at turn 1. Rocky around the outside. Exotica though is built as Exotica's pressuring him super hard right now. That's catch in front. That's almost a second the gap. Exotica behind. He's going to try and chuck that car up here. The Jaguar has found its prey. Just needs to set up the attack move. Could be up into this hairpin. Is he close enough? Jaguar, does he fancy his chances? Not yet. And that's another lap around. Up into the final sector of this circuit here at Circuit de Catalunya Barcelona. Oh, Exotica's wide. Exotica's had to let off the gas, I'd imagine. Very lucky. Very, very lucky not to end up further inside that sand pit.